in here just taking up space. Y'all want to be on the show? Now they scary. Come on. Put your headphones on. You too. Come on. So this is PSA, Philly service announcement as I sweat because I was walking. You know, one of those things that keep you alive, drinking water and walking and don't eat meat. You look young like me. So I'm going to do this again. This is PSA, Philly service announcement, Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resources, and Art. I am the assist, African support and strength, inspiration and success together. You know, my co-host, you know, being the queen that she is, the master that she is. Damn, I'm sweating. I can see it on it. The master that she is, the mom, the wife. You know, like I tell y'all, you know, when she pop in, and she got, you know, a number of those blessings running around the house of all different ages. So I already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And when she come through, it's always going, man, just destroy everything, please. We got the headsets on? Is the mic up to you? Pull the mic to you. Let's see. What's going on here? What is going on here? Come up here in here and just break stuff. All right, there you go. Is you gonna be able to talk with that taffy in your mouth? Can I get some paper towels or something, please? Thank you. I'm dying. So I'm not driving right now, which actually is a beautiful thing because, you know, I get to walk more. I get to see some things that I wouldn't normally see because I'm driving around all the time. And the funny thing about driving is it gives you the impression that you like really been outside moving around when you really just been sitting down for however long you've been driving. And you don't get to see all the things that you think you see. But I seen a lot of stuff. I went to the African culture. It's on 52nd and Spruce. The African Center Forum. Hold up. Matter of fact, God damn it, Zooberry got my he got my card, but it's on 52nd Street. Yo, I moved to Southwest Philly from North Philly. I lived in North Philly from 4 to 11, graduated from Meade. We was talking about it today. It is Black History Month, so we was talking about it today. You know, we did Incredible Messenger, you know. That's a beautiful thing. We was doing a ride along. You know, I explain a little bit of that later, but they was talking about like Cecil B. Moore and everything. And, you know, I still call it Columbia. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because that's what it was. But I remember being in the 4th grade when they made it Cecil B. Moore. I was at school that day, whole like parade type situation going on. I didn't really understand at the time. I do now. But one of the things that I want people to do, I'm not going to talk about anybody in particular, and I could go on. It ain't because I don't have names to tell y'all for Black History Month, because there's no such thing as Black History Month for me. I understood what the elder Carter G. Woodson was trying to do, him and others, by making a Negro History Month or Black History Month. I understood that because one of our issues that I talk about all the time, and I'm never going to stop talking about it, because for me, the issue is that we lack identity. You know what I'm saying? We lack it. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. You know, it's so funny that even having conversations with Black folk now, with all the things that are at our fingertips, literally, you know what I'm saying, or at our voice command. You don't even got to touch shit no more. You Siri, XYZ, you know what I'm saying? So with all of that, Black people still struggle with even wanting to know who they are. It's one of the things that baffle me. Like, it's one of the things that hurts my feelings at times. And one of the things that angers me and frustrates me, that we still having these arguments about identity and why it's important for us to have identity. So when we talk about that unity question, that so many, and I don't even really ride with that. I understand what y'all saying when y'all say that, but Black people are unified in a lot of ways. But the issue is there's no identity in the unification. You know, because we got gangs, we got 100 Black reporters, 100 Black cops, we got fraternities, sororities, Black journalists. You got cats that build their own fraternity from playing hoops, from playing football. Like, it's a lot of different ways that we got bike gangs, well, you know, bike crews, whatever you want to call them. We got Black folk unifying shit. You got a movement without us even knowing it of Black returning citizens who all our badge that we relate to each other with. Where was you at up top? I was up Smithfield for 10 years. I was at Rockview for that's unity. Because when we see, it's so funny because now that I'm in the spaces that I'm in, we tap each other like, yeah, I know a boy right there from upstate. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I had an interview. I think I talked about this. I had an interview with the Office of Violence Prevention to do the Credible Messenger, right? And I never I knew what I was doing as a man, being upstate and standing up, you know, not never giving up my manhood for nothing. You know, I was telling somebody a story last night about how something happened to me in the hole, and the guard was just trying to be a smart ass because he liked the woman that I was in the hole for. You know what I'm saying? I was messing with a CO when I was in Graterford. And, you know, I didn't know at the time, but they can't write you up because, you know, the COs are like your superiors, basically. Like, it's a rank. You know what I'm saying? So it's never a time when you could have a relationship with a CO that he or she doesn't, you know, they don't allow it, because the first time that you say anything out of the ordinary, shit, they had a fucking a thing called reckless eyeballing. If you looked at a guard too long, you could be locked up. You know, you could be sent to the jail of the jail, to the hole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back there, white ball guard, Sarge ball, Irish ball. You know, he liked her. He heard that so he had an issue with me, but he couldn't never say nothing to me about it. Like, you know, and then I had a lot of guards that just dealt with me, because one of the things about me, man, wherever I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be me. And being me, you know, I'm a good dude. Period, point blank. Well, I'm with all the shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm non-violent against black folk, but I'm with all the shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm somebody that you can Google, fortunately and unfortunately. You know, I don't hide nothing about myself. I'm a open book, as I tell people. We call it transparency now. I hear transparency a lot. Well, when I was upstate, I called it, I'm an open book. It ain't nothing that you can ask me that I'm not going to say, because that was my way of staying sane. That was my way of relieving stress, because holding on to lies is a stressful thing, because you got to remember them. And then a lot of times you got to add lies to it. So although I look at people who are vicious liars, they're very intelligent people, there's a lot of stress with holding on to lies, yo. Internal stress, that why would I want to have that? I'm here. I'm at the lowest of the low. I might as well just be open with everything, even myself. So now that's how I live my life. So I don't got to deal with no bullshit. And I very rarely deal with bullshit, because I talk about a lot about having a track record. You know what I'm saying? Look at my track record. If we got a relationship, look at my track record. I keep score on purpose, because I want to make sure that I'm being the man that I say I am in these relationships. I'm very fallible. I'm not perfect. You know, and a lot of times people will come at me. That'll be how you think you know everything. You think you perfect. That's only because that's how you feel, because I'm putting some pressure on you to be the same, if that's what it is. You know, I strive for perfection. I know I can never be, but I strive for it. You know, because it's like they say, wherever you land is a pretty high mark if you strive for perfection and you don't reach it. You put in that work for real, because you was trying to make sure you didn't make one mistake in nothing that you do. That's how I really live my life. Do I always measure? Nah, not all the time. But I be damn close. And that put pressure on other people that I'm in relationships with or that I'm around. So that's why they say, oh, you think you know it? Well, read something then. You think I think I know everything because you know I know a lot. And I don't hide it, because I want you to want to know a lot too. I used to tell people, love yourself enough to read about it. Don't trust nothing I say. Research it yourself. So anyway, I was in the hole. Guard, he wanted to be an asshole. I'm single cell at the time, you know what I'm saying? You know, they look at that like you chilling. How the fuck I'm chilling? I'm in the hole. I'm in the jail of the jail. 23-1. I don't know how I could be chilling, but in his mind, because I wasn't on the gate all the time, banging on the door, stressing out every time they walk by, I'm asking them for something, want to talk, I just was like, yo, I'm back here, I'm going to read, keep working out in this cell, and when I get out, I get out. You know what I'm saying? Because they call themselves grinding me up, but you can't grind me up because you ain't smarter than me. I know what you trying to do. I ain't going to never start throwing shit. That's something they did in the hole. They would have you in this inhumane place, you know, our brothers and sisters, I assume. I would ask more of the sisters of how I would go down in the hole, but I know how I go down the hole in male penitentiaries. And they break you down all the way down. So when you think throwing shit is something that makes sense. You know, throwing piss is something that makes sense. I would never let you get me down that low till I take some shit and throw it on somebody. I get it, though. I get it. I understand. Trust me, I understand. I understand how they could break you down to that.
So I know they were messing with my brother's sanity by having him in this fucking box for 23 hours a day. And every time you try to leave the box, they want to strip you down. Motherfucker, I ain't been nowhere. Why you want to keep looking at me, you freak? And everybody wouldn't do it. You know, a lot of guards, you know, they wouldn't do it like, you know, but it was the ones. You know, even walking around with your handcuffs on behind your back with a leash on it. They call it a tether. It's a fucking leash. And that's what it looks like. That's what you look like. Walking around, and then they take you out to the yard, to the dog kennel. So imagine what this does to people's psyche, man. To their sanity. You know what I'm saying? But what I knew, I was like, y'all can't play with me like that. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to get on this gate. I'm not going to be yelling this. I'm not doing all. I'm not asking you for shit every time you come by just because I'm stressing back here. So nah, I'm not going to do that. I'll lay in this bunk and sleep and work out and read and, you know, pass my time. However I'm going to pass it. It is what it is, you know. So he wanted to fuck with me. So he make me move from one cell to the next. Now, it is a policy that says when you in a cell for a certain amount of time, they want to switch the cells. But that's not something that they really followed unless they wanted to fuck with people. Or if they wanted to exhort their power. They wanted to show you that they, you know, and you got the system behind you. You in here with uniform. Dudes got chains and all of that. Like, they got their time. You're not really powerful, yo. But, you know, people come from places where they think that's power, especially when you're a racist. You know what I'm saying? So you get to, you know, you got all these black bodies up here and you can pretty much almost do whatever you want. Because one thing I used to say, one of the many things, I got to stop saying one thing. One of the many things I used to tell my brothers is twofold. One, these people could never get me in trouble because they're not smarter than me. But you always got to remember that they got the trump card. They could just lie. They could just lie. And they going to rock with it. You know what I mean? And even if they don't, even if you could prove it, you still got to go through this long nut-ass process to prove it. And that process is going to be very stressful. It's going to be very painful. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he moves me. So he come to the cell. I said, damn, sorry, let me talk to you for a minute. I talked to him with respect. You know, there's a certain type of way that not that I respect him, but it's a game being played. It's a psychological game being played. So I don't want to come to you with the yelling and all that. You know, you see how I get down. I don't get too up and shit when I was in jail. Like, nah, y'all can't get a rise out of me. I'm not doing that. So, excuse me. So he come to the cell and, you know, like, you know, they got you on animal time. So you got to look through the crack in the door. So, because there's an opening there, you know, they can hear you that way. You can't really talk through the glass. And that's another thing. If you ever see those gates, those doors in the hole, it always make you look, it distorts how you look. It makes you look like an animal, for real, for real. When you up on that gate and that window, the way that joint's situated, when you look at it from the outside looking in, it makes you look like, it distorts how you look. I don't think people ever paid attention to that been in a hole or been in a penitentiary. But when you come and you look through that gate and you look at people through that gate, it's something about that dehumanizes you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to talk to him, you know, not trying to, I talk to him through the gate. I'm like, damn, Sarge, like, why, you know, like, why you moving me? Like, I ain't getting into shit. I ain't bothering your guards. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just falling back here. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was like, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, Lawson, you're moving. I said to myself, I said, damn, this bitch ass nigga is performing. You a guard. You out there. I'm in here. I say, damn, Sarge, you don't got to talk to me like that. Like, I'm just, you know, I don't got to answer none of your questions. You moving. I said, damn. So it took a lot out of me not to get, now I see what my brothers, why they kicking on these doors. Like, I would be sitting there like, man, why is you kicking on this door, bro? You ain't doing nothing but making it hard for us. I got to hear this. It took a lot out of me. Because that shit upset me. And I think I was already on edge because I'm in the hole, you know, I'm holding it together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I ain't going to start cursing you out through this door because that's some gate gangster shit. I don't get into that. I ain't going to start kicking on this door because I ain't with that shit. You're not going to get that type of rise out of me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till they open this gate. Now, initially, I just wanted to spit on him. I'm not going to lie. I was going to wait for him to open the gate, put me all in the shit. When he come over, I was going to be like, pussy, who the fuck you talking to, and spit on him. But I was like, I ain't going to put myself in that type of situation because that's a new charge. But I said what I will do, I'll allow him to know, because it ain't a lot of people who can like be up, like get like argue. Like I don't like to argue, but I could be upset and say what I need to say. I don't lose my train of thought. The shit comes out, it flows, and I could be yelling. It just flow. I could in an emotional situation, I could still articulate myself. I could still say shit that cut, all that. I get into all of it. So when they open a John, you know, it's like 6 guards. They got the fucking, you know, they all out there with the tethers. It's this one white chick. And you know, we be losing our mind about these white women in jail. She is the ugliest woman I ever seen in my life. And if y'all ever seen Little John, slim, you know, used to have her hair pulled back, no body at all. And she had man hands. And I didn't watch Steinfeld like that, but I remember the one episode about the man hands. And the only part I always remember is they was out on a date, and her hands, the way she was breaking the fucking lobster tail with her hands was like him exhibiting her bigger hands. But this woman had those type of hands. So she on one side of me, flanking me, the other boy on the other side of me, you know what I'm saying? And then he's there, it's like 4 other guards out there. So I wait till they get me on the chair. And I just start snapping on him like, yo, you's a fucking bitch, yo. You talk crazy to me from behind that gate like that. All I try to do is ask you, but I know how you is. You's a pussy. And I know these children is on here, but I got to tell y'all what it is. They've heard these words before. They know how they Uncle Jarue get down, but it's still a whole lot of respect, and they won't curse at you. I guarantee you. They know they going to curse amongst themselves because that's what kids do. Anybody that believe their children ain't cursing when they ain't around adults, you're tripping. But they not going to get twisted off of what they hear Uncle Jarue saying right now. And the respect will still be there. So I'm going in on bull. Crazy, right? So the other guards is looking at me, and I'm telling them, I was like, man, if y'all let me out of these Jones, I will f you up. I'll do all types of shit. I'm talking crazy to him, like, don't let me catch you. So I could tell I got him because he started talking back. You know, let me catch you out population. Pussy, you know I'm not going back to population. Why would you say nothing like that? You don't never want to see me nowhere where I don't got these handcuffs on. And it's all y'all, and it's just me on this tier. And I'm not scared, dog. Whatever y'all think y'all gonna do, y'all not gonna do it. I'm gonna hurt this boy right here. So I advise you, I just went crazy. So the other guards look, and I see their eyes. So the female guard starts squeezing my hand. So I turn around and her like, bitch, you can't calm me down because I'm not upset. I don't know what you think because you a woman. You not one of my women. I don't care about you. You can't. She was like, Lawson, calm down, Lawson. I'm like, what? Get off of me. What are you talking about? You can't calm me down. I'm not upset like that. I'm just letting this bitch ass nigga know that he's a pussy and he's a bitch and he got this uniform on and he know it ain't no place where he would ever be with me without these handcuffs on and ever say nothing to me. He would see me and put his head down if he see me somewhere without these cuffs on. He know it and I know it and all y'all know it. So I got my shit off. They ain't start pulling on me and all that shit that I seen them do to other people. They gently took me down the steps. The chick didn't take offense. She was like, he was wrong, Lawson. When we get downstairs, she like, he was wrong. I don't know why he messing with you, this, that, and the third. So this is the reason why I tell that. Because in that moment, I got the respect of all his folks. Because when it was time, they wanted me to be a tier runner. And you know, my idea of being a tier runner, I'm just make sure everybody eat. I'm going to take care of everybody. I'm going to run around this joint until y'all lock me back in. But the biggest boy down there, white boy, he come to my cell, and he like a couple weeks later, because they ain't write me up or nothing. They ain't do nothing to me. He come to my cell like, Lawson, I want you to, you wanna be a tier runner? And for me, it wasn't even about being a tier runner. It was like, look how your comrades don't give a fuck about you. Because this man want me to come out here and not have no handcuffs or nothing on, and you still got to come down here and work. But he respected how I moved in that moment. You know what I'm saying? He respected it. We don't like each other. We ain't got, but he respected me. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those things about being like locked up. Your name is gonna carry. He told other COs that story. Just the same thing with me dealing with the female CO. It was just respect there off the strength that he ain't gay. He had the women like him, and he liked the women. They ain't break him like that. And in moments like that, like being in the hole, they respected how I got down. So my name carried for a lot of things in the penitentiaries that I've been in. And nothing freaky, nothing weird, nothing sideways. I know I ain't the toughest cat on the planet, but ain't nobody never did nothing to me. Ain't never take nothing from me. Cat ain't never had a bad day on me. Cause you know, dudes be stressed out in jail. They get up like, man, fuck it, the day of the day. I'm just going whoever scream. I never had that. I never had a dude call me out my name in jail. That's why it hurt me so bad when I come out here and my women who I prepared myself for and try to be the best dude that I can be for them in there and out here, believe it or not, that's the reason why I maintain my manhood. Because if I'd have lost my manhood in there, I couldn't come out here and be the men to these babies and to these women. You feel what I'm saying? So the ball came. I wound up getting a job. You know, the tier run a job. I'm giving everybody food. So when he told me, me and this boy never had no communication. We never talked. I wasn't Joe with him, none of that. But when he said, the only person that's going to care, I knew it. It's Sarge. And he started smiling and shit. I said, damn, look how y'all do y'all people, though. That's what I know. I said, damn, you want me to come out here and see how Sarge going to respond once he see me out here? Is he going to bitch up? Is he going to stay away from me? This is his CO. Talking about I want you to be a tier. Because mind you, when you a tier runner, you ain't got no chains or nothing on. You running around. You helping them with meals. Whatever they need help with on the block, you helping them. But my main thing was make sure the men eat. I wasn't eating meat or none of that shit at the time. So all extra shit that we got, extra trays, all of that, I ran it into the brothers. And even I had to have a couple incidents with my brothers. Like, you not going to throw shit on me, bro. I never got nothing thrown on me. Boy ain't never threatened because they knew what it was. Like, sometimes men could look men in the eyes and know, like, damn, if I get this boy going to find a way. And my thing is, I'm smarter than you, bro. You do something to me, I'm going to make sure I get you back. And motherfuckers love me. So you might have thought you got it off of me and they separated you. And something might happen to you when you next time you come out the cell, call yourself taking a shower or going to the yard or whatever like that. You will never be able to come out these hoes. And that's just real rap. That ain't talking crazy. Just people love me because I'm a good dude. You know what I mean? On purpose. So I'm saying that to say when I went to the Office of Violence Prevention, this is how respect in your name carry. Now I'm down Center City, 1421 Art Street. You know, basically this is a city organization. And the man told me, he said, damn, after I did the interview, and you know, I knocked that shit out the box because that's what I do. Again, information is very important. You will never be left lacking in a situation if you got information. Those who are not informed always get taken advantage of. If you don't know, you will get taken advantage of. So learn, know. You know what I'm saying? Know as much as you can know. Like I like to tell people, I don't got no degrees. I'm an autodidact. Every place you see me in is because I got information. That's how I got there. Anything you see, any type of success you see me have that you think success is, that's because I got information. So anyway, I'm in this interview, and I think I talked about this before, but the guy, he tell me, he like, listen, I called a couple people upstate, and he said, damn, bro, it ain't no smut on your name, man. Everybody I talked to was like, nah, he stand-up dude. Whatever you doing, you want him to be a part of it. And that meant so much to me because it allowed me to know that the way that I move, the standards that I move by, they wasn't wrong. And they've been carrying me in my life. And it ain't hard to do. I know we think it's hard to be honest. You know what I'm saying? We think it's hard to be upstanding. We think it's harder to be sneaky, yo. When you're not going to get the return on investment. It's harder to be a liar. You're not going to get return on. It's harder not to be a respectful person. You're not going to get no return on investment. It's harder not to be sturdy, yo. You're not going to get no return on investment. It's hard to keep up. And that's how people going to treat you in every space that you in. It's not, because that carries too. So once I know you're a liar, I'm going to let people know you're a liar. Because the thing about lying is you steal in people's realities. I told my daughter that when she was like 11 years old. I said, whenever you tell a lie, you steal in people's reality. Because they're going to make their next move based off a lie that you told them, and it's not real. That's what lying does. That's how deep it is. And we all tell lies. We've all lied, all of that. I've lied, like what the fuck? But I mean just intentionally just lying about stuff. Or my favorite, lying about omission. You only telling part of the story on purpose. You know the whole story, but you only telling part of it on purpose. Deception. That's what that is. And when it's found out, it ain't no getting back, at least not with me. You know, I talk about how people, you start off with 100% of me or any person. And it's things that you could do where you could break me. Now, I might still be able to deal with you, but I ain't 100% with you no more because you broke me. And you can try to put tape on it and all that, but I'm never going to be 100% again. And then sometimes people could do shit that just shatter you. And that's when it's over for me. When you shatter me with your bullshit, with your lies, with your deception, with your psychological games, with your stealing, your conniving, whatever words we want to use, with your laziness, with your procrastination, because that shit is compared to lying, and we all get lazy. We all procrastinate. But don't try to pump fake like you ain't being lazy. That becomes a problem. Don't try to act like you don't be procrastinating when you know you do. And then the other thing don't tell me, you know I'm a liar. What the fuck that mean? I'm supposed to excuse you? You know I be procrastinating. What do these things mean? You know who I am. You know how I am. I hate that John. You know how, what, I supposed to accept it because you telling me? That make it worse because it allows me to know that you know that you doing what you doing. And you just want me to accept it because this is something you always do? No, I'm not doing that. So, I'll tell y'all all that because your name, your identity is very important. Who are you? That's very important. Start trying to figure it out. Who are you? You need to look in the mirror sometime. Who are you? Who am I? You might need to do it every day. Have that critique of yourself. Find out. You know, if we talking about identity, we can dig into it a little bit. So the first thing you might want to know is where you come from. Not where you come from as far as the country or the continent. No, who your mom, who your dad? Who's this family? Who your mom, who your dad? Find that out first. Some of us don't know who our fathers are. Unfortunate. You need to find out. Excuse me. Who are you? Find out some things about your father. Mannerisms, you know what I'm saying? How they dealt with relationships. How intelligent were they? Where they lived at? Because that shit is coursing through your veins. It's the same thing with your mom. Who is your mom? Like, I found out something about my grandmom that kind of tripped me out. I found out that my grandmom, everybody that I thought was my grandmom's sisters weren't her sisters. They were her first cousins. My grandmom left her house, got put out her house. Whatever happened at 13 years old, her aunt took her in. So these women that I grew up that I call Aunt so-and-so, thinking Aunt Blas, Aunt Dessa, these are my grandma's first cousins. So now I got to do an even further backtrack when I'm trying to find out. Because I need to know where I come from. I was telling somebody something yesterday. Like, I noticed, I didn't know I looked as much like my mom as I do. I always thought I looked more like my dad. I'm built like my dad, but I look like my mom. And then looking at my brother, me and my brother look exactly alike. I didn't realize that shit till I was 40. I never thought me and my brother looked, people ain't even know we was brothers, and my brother a little lighter than me. And I'm built completely different than my brother. And then now I look at my brother, I'm like, damn, man, this boy look exactly alike. But then when I think back and look at my grandfather, we look like my grandfather. I look at pictures of my Uncle Jarue, I look like this boy. The whole time I'm thinking I look like my dad. But this is me finding out. And then I start thinking, well, damn, I got this boy in me. Now, mind you, my uncle, he was bald. He was one of the boys down 7th Street, died very young, got his face blown off. You know what type of lifestyle people normally live when they get their head shot off. We just gonna keep it all the way authentic. He was a vicious ball playing boy. That's where I got my love of basketball from. That's where I got my name from. That's where I got my smile from, for real, because that's who I look like him. I look like my grandfather. I look like my mom. So now I'm understanding, like, my uncle, he was somebody that people loved. He was a vicious boy, though. He was vicious. But people loved him because he was charismatic. He was handsome. He played ball. He was in shape. He had an anger about him. You know what I'm saying? So people responded to it and loved it. And then my dad was kind of like on the same tip. You know what I'm saying? But I think about my dad I don't think my dad realized how he looked until he got older. And women started liking him, and my dad lost his mind. My dad lost his mind with the women. Because I got 4 sisters, think I might got twin brothers, all of us about different women while he was married to my older sister's mom. You feel what I'm saying? And he came from a viciously religious family. So religious that my grandmom only considered my oldest sister her grandchild. I came to her house at 13 years old. She didn't even open the gate or nothing. I was like, damn, I'm your grandson. I'm Leroy's son. She told me I don't got nothing to do with that and closed her door. Now, mind you, this lady lived 2 blocks up from me at the time. I lived on 52nd and Pentridge. She lived on 54th and Pentridge. So, I was loved. So that shit didn't even affect me. It didn't. To this day, I be trying to figure out, like, damn, did it? But I had a grandmom already. And I had a bunch of women who loved me. So I just walked on up the street to my sister's house on 56th and Pentridge. And it was funny because her mom, who had every right not to want me in her house, loved me. Come whenever you want. To this day, still love me. So I'm saying all this because you got to find out who you are, where you get. Like, I know where I get my anger from. I know where I get my leadership ability. I get that from my mom. You feel what I'm saying? I know where I get my looks from. I get it from my uncle and my dad, but more so my uncle and my grandfather, my mom. I was explaining to somebody, like, me and all my brothers and sisters, as we get older, we get these freckles on our face. We get that straight from my grandfather. My sister's Jones look like freckles. My mom's and mine and my older sister, they come up like as moles and freckles. But these are things you need to know. Like, my folks was all from South Philly initially. Before South Philly, they was from South Carolina. Before that, they was from Florida. Like, these are the things that you got to start learning. You got to know where you get your attitude from. Where you get your walk from. Your voice, how it sounds, how your hair grow. Where that stuff come from. That's the first things you need to be finding out. Who is your family? Who are your uncles? Who are your aunts? How many of them? Where they come from? What's coursing through their veins? Like, we talked about it a little bit on Thinking Outside the Box. Shout out to my sister Nelly. And we were talking about mental illness. And I know my sister, they have mental illnesses in their family. And I see it in my nephew. I see it a little bit in my sister. I know she wouldn't, admit to that or feel like that. But her pop, it all come from down that lineage. So the first thing is an identity thing is learn who your family is. You learn who these people are. Go find them. You know what I mean? Learn who your brother. And it's important to know who your folks is because it's a lot of us running around. And I remember one time, we was having an event at my grandma's house. Like, everybody was coming to my grandma's house for something down 7th Street. And 2 of my cousins they hadn't seen each other since they was like little, like 4 or 5. But they both in their late teens now. They was on a sub on the way down there. My cousin, Darren, trying to kind of holler at my cousin Nissa. They cousins. Don't know it though. They like, where you going? I'm going down 7th Street. I'm going to my house, but I'm going to my grandma's first. And then my cousin Darren was like, yeah, I'm going down 7th Street too. My great aunt live down there. Like, all right, yeah. But it's funny because their grandmoms, because they ain't seen each other, it's sisters. If I remember the story properly. I think it was Darren and Nissa. I might have my female cousin wrong, but I think it was Darren and Nissa. But their grandmoms is sisters, like real sisters. My grandmom was the cousin for real. So my Aunt Dessa and my Aunt Blas, they was sisters. If I get the, because I still need to learn a lot about my own family. But I think you start with there when you talking about identity, man. Start with your family. Where are these people from? Who are your family? You know your family?
Yes, I do.
All right, tell me. Oh, you said that, John. Tell me some of your family.
This is my sister.
Mm-hmm. That's an easy one. That's your sister over there too?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all know Bill?
No.
Y'all know Bill? Andre. You know Andre? You don't know Andre. You know Andre? Y'all know Dev?
No, I don't know
Devin.
Dev.
Not y'all Uncle Devin that got killed, but y'all cousin Devin.
No.
Devin Wallace.
No.
Y'all know Rachi?
No.
Y'all don't know Rachi neither?
No.
You don't know Rachi? See, David. His name is David. If you don't know Rachi, you don't know David. But these are y'all cousins. These are people that I grew up with. Bino looked just like Andre. Bill. The person I said Bill. He looked exactly like him. You feel what I'm saying? But that's important. Y'all need to know this. Not saying that it's y'all fault that y'all don't know, but these are things that y'all know. Y'all can walk by people. That's y'all family, man. Y'all need to know where a lot of how y'all move and how y'all think come from, because it really do course through your DNA. And then that greater thing is, Akubulan, Africa, with Azania, whatever you want to call it, like where do we come from that standpoint? Like I tell people I'm from Senegal. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I tell people this because I'm a fighter. Not so much I'll be wanting to fight her, but I'll fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm with fighting, not necessarily fighting my people, but whatever I feel is not right, I'm okay with fighting it. Racism ain't right, I'm okay with that. White folks act crazy, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a racist and you want to come with the violent shit, I'm with that. I don't mind at all. So the one thing that I know about our Senegalese brothers and sisters, they fought. A lot of them was built like me, and they fought. That was one of the places that they knew, because they had a dossier on all of the countries that they were taking our people from. And Senegal was one of the countries that was known to fight. And then you had other countries with what they call Ghana now. It wasn't called Ghana then. Liberia, which is a European creation. It was a place that they were trying to repatriate. And a lot of the issues you see in Liberia, even to this day, come from the fact that the Africans that they sent back, they gave them more resources, they backed them, and they became the upper class in what they call Liberia. And they've been fighting ever since, for real. It's been friction ever since. Because when they first got there, our brothers and sisters who never left and was there, they were calling them white people. They was like, these Africans, I ain't our brothers and sisters, they white people. The European knew that it would go down like that, and to this day, when you talk about the blood diamonds and the Civil War and all that in Liberia, that is steeped in that history. Steeped in that history. The Africans that they sent back didn't come back like their brothers and sisters. They came back like Europeans, and the Europeans fed it, to keep that division, to have something else to be able to control through people fighting, through conflict, divide and conquer. So I tell people I'm from Senegal because of that reason, because they fight everywhere I ever been when it come to this racial shit. Like I tell you, I joke a lot about the Chris Rock John. He was like, he always looking for the racism. It's just real. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So identity is very, very, very important. Like I said, it's Black History Month. Black History Month. I don't even like saying Black History Month. Anybody that's been around me, probably it's the first time I said something about it, and it's almost over. Because it's on the shortest month. But the reason why I talk about identity in this time, because that's what that's really about. Learning that history, having a reason to learn that history, to want to learn that history, is so you can regain an identity that was stripped from you, that was taken from you. You need to know who you are. I keep hearing people talk about the poppy stores. People talk about the way the Jews move. It's funny. People out here with Ukrainian flags that's not Ukrainian. You know what I'm saying? They would never do that for you. They don't be up in arms when black folk die. I don't see the Ukrainian community, the Chinese. I don't see none of these communities on the front line when black people are dying, when black people are being gentrified, when the schools are purposely failing. All the things that they know. I don't see none of them out there for us. They don't ride. But we always want to ride for other people. Why? Because we don't have a language and a flag. We don't know who we are. We always want to ride. I'm just asking. One of the things I talk about where people, when we talk about LBGTQ, and we talk about that agenda, I say it's an agenda. So one of the things I always say with that is, like, if y'all ever seen the whole thing about Harvey Milk and all that around AIDS and how they was locking themselves to the Capitol, and they forced the American government, the American medical system, to treat gay people with AIDS a certain way. Make sure that you got to give them medical coverage. You got to take care of them. You got to make sure they was good, right? And everybody was riding. We support like, nah, you got to, it's killing them. Medicine is killing them and this, that, and the third. It was all of this stuff. It was a whole movement. Watch the movie Philadelphia. It was a whole movement around gay men and AIDS. As soon as they got taken care of, somehow AIDS became a black woman's disease. Check it out. Look at the statistics around the world. I didn't see the gay community riding for black women. I didn't see them chaining themselves to stuff. I didn't see them protesting. I didn't hear Harvey Milk coming out and saying, no, we got to protect these black women. How is it that black women have become the face of AIDS? Because when AIDS was a gay white man's disease, everybody was in an uproar. It's movies about it. But when it became a black woman's disease, I didn't see no communities up in uproar to save black women. I didn't see it. And that's what I mean. I didn't see our indigenous brothers and sisters trying to break down on the casinos when they know black people went through the same shit with them. Read Black Indians, please. I didn't see it was black people in the Holocaust. Read it, learn about it. I didn't see Jewish people like I'm talking about individual Jewish people. We walk with King. Like, please stop with the we walk with King, man. Come on, man, stop with that. Stop with that. Because a lot of Jewish folks, older Jewish folks, we walk with King. Listen, you done been in a bunch of rooms where you could have stood up for black folk. Walking with King is symbolic. So I'm saying I don't see La Raza on the front line and nothing going on in the black community. And I'm not wrong. I don't think it's wrong for y'all rocking for y'all people and nobody else. I just want my people to have some identity so they can stop doing it. When you look at the Civil Rights Bill, man, it benefited every group of people in America that was disadvantaged, discriminated against, disenfranchised, except for the people who came up with the ideas and died for it. Who it was really for. Disabled people got something. White women got something. Gay brothers and sisters got something. Everybody got something out of this. Read the Civil Rights Bill. Title IX and all of this stuff. Like, check it out. That was black people doing that. And none of these people came and said, well, black people ain't getting what they supposed to get out. Affirmative action. White women, they get that more than anybody else. But I do see feminist white women using black women as cannon fodder, though. I do see that. They brought y'all in for that. You know, if you want to be honest, read about it. Read about Margaret Sanger. I love to tell y'all about her. Please. And they love her. She's a founding mother or whatever they call of the feminist movement. And you will have feminists try to defend her in your face. So the thing that I'm saying about identity and why it's so important, because it makes you understand that the greater thing is your people as a whole. And that's what's going to get you from point A to point B. When you show me that these folks, my brother said something to me today. He said, damn, how they got all these poppy stores everywhere? They don't even live in these neighborhoods. They don't live nowhere near. How we don't got a strong hold on our stuff? Because we don't have an identity, man. We don't have a flag in the land. He was saying it hypothetically, but like rhetorically, he knew what the answer was. But that's my big thing, man. If we talking about black history, I don't care about black history, man, y'all. I don't. Because I'm on it every day. I want to learn about my people every day. I want to get more entrenched in my blackness every day, my Africanity every day. So I don't need a month. I don't need it. It's every day. But I understood the importance of it because it was trying to get our people, Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro. Look it up, read it. And talk about a lot of you college Negroes too, especially you ones go to them HBCUs and still be on some white people stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You trying to get a job so you can work in somebody's corporate office. I know. Don't worry about it. We all been there. Yeah. But what's up? Did I not explain something? Did you want me to go into depth about that? What you want me to do? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I'm working my way up the ladder, too. I got a job. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Because we need to know. We need to get on this identity thing. I see for me, it's still the problem. Unity won't happen without people knowing identity. They gotta know the understanding or the importance of why I should do this for and with black people. Like, why? Strategically, militarily, it works. Because everybody else does it. I know some of y'all just running around talking about peace to Ukraine and all that. I know y'all was. I ain't never seen no Ukrainian nobody talk about nothing that had nothing to do with no black. I don't never hear no Ukrainians saying, yo, the cops need to stop killing black folk. Or what's up with gang violence? Or what's up with incarceration and all that drugs? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see y'all on the front line for us. You know what I'm saying? So why? Why we gotta be the conscience for everybody? You know, except for ourselves. We want to support everybody except for ourselves. And I understand why. No identity, no flag, no language. Other people look at us crazy too for that. They look at us crazy, man. Y'all got unity?
No.
Y'all love black people? You don't got no unity?
No.
No, why? Who's you, a solo artist?
No.
You,
Not so.
you do this by yourself? Yes. You don't rock with your sisters and your brothers?
No.
Wow. What is going on? How? Why? What happened?
Beetle slammed me on the bed this morning.
What? That's just a that's a little brotherly hazing. Man, I've been thrown down steps, man. Yeah. My older brother, he would beat me up really bad. Not like abuse. Nah, it wasn't abuse, but I guess he was kind of just trying to let me know, like, you know, I'm your big brother. But that's how he was taught, though. And that was a fucked up thing, too. Like, stop beating these young boys up like that's what's going to make him tough. Just stop beating them up. Like, I understand that aggression that has to be shown because they're young cubs. But stop beating them up thinking that's going to make them tough. Ladies, stop punching them in the chest. That's not the answer. You need to get him together. And it's a way. I'm not against corporal punishment. I know people don't like corporal punishment. I know y'all don't like it. I call it, you know, corrective behavior. You know what I'm saying? Corrective discipline. Something like that. It's not coming out right now, but it's something corrective. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about punching on people. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a little brotherly hazing. He's just letting you know he love you. It's not abuse. It's affection. What you looking like that for? You got something to say? No. Then why you all on my camera? Why you take the headphones off? You don't want to talk? Why you sitting in my seat like that? You gotta sit up on here. You gotta act like you want to be here. Sit up real quick. Let me see. Thank you. Put the headphones back on real quick. Did you have something to say, ma'am? This is one of our reps.
Dun, dun, dun.
What? Who told you to talk? Yo, I see why you got slammed on the bed now. It's order here, okay? So, the what?
He almost popped the airbag.
Oh my God. I'm gonna talk to him because then y'all destroying property and that's not helping. That's not. Do y'all pay for this stuff? No. Do you pay for anything? Then you need to be more careful about how you treat stuff.
My mom paid for it.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. So, can you tell us something about reps, ma'am? Oh my God. Can you turn around to the camera, please?
We have a client, right? But we're waiting for her to email us back because she's not answering.
Okay. So it's the client's fault that they don't have their stuff. She didn't tell you nothing about reps. She just said, we have a client.
Oh. And
she didn't call us back. But we going to get y'all better with the PR because y'all kind of doing people's PR and y'all don't know how to do your own PR. I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I'll talk about that off camera. I'm not. It's none of y'all business. The person who I'm talking to, I'll talk to her after the show. You know what I'm saying? But it's very important. I hope y'all got a some type of understanding. Powernomics. I've been talking about that book a lot. Powernomics. Please read the book. Haki Matabuti. Single, obsolete, and dangerous. Please read the book. Hakeem Booty got another book that was written in the 70s, and he's talking about what the Chinese are doing right now and how they slid into all of these countries. And they watched the European and said, nah, we don't want to do it like that, because then people are going to want to fight back. And we're going to be people's mortal enemies. And it's always going to be a fight ready to happen. And the European, he's a warlike person, so they're warlike people. So it's like, all right, we don't care, because we was doing this anyway. If we wouldn't have came out and started doing all this stuff to y'all, we would have killed each other in the mountains anyway. You feel what I'm saying? It's just real rap. Read their history. Read a book called 13 Tribes. Read 13 Tribes. Read Stolen Legacy, too. It's a few ones, but 13 Tribes is, whoo. Read that. It'll tell you some shit about Europeans. And then the ultimate book to read is Marumba Ani, Urugu. Do not let the size of the book scare you off. You don't have to read it all at one time, but I promise you, this is a major read. Life and Lessons of Marcus Garvey. Read that. UNIA. But read with the Life and Lessons of Marcus Garvey. It's a 400-page book, but it's very detailed. You'll see a lot of the Deacons of Defense stuff in there, the Panthers stuff, Black Liberation Army, BLA. You'll see a lot of their stuff in there. Garvey the one put that together. Them 10-point plans of, you know what I'm saying? Like about finances, about religion, about education. He had everything in there. It's very comprehensive. Read it. You don't got to read it all at one time. You can even bounce around. You can read one joint about politics and government. You can read another joint about spirituality and religion. You can read another joint about intelligence and education. You can read another joint about business and finance. You know what I'm saying? Another thing about culture, the ethos. Ethos are the beginnings of culture. The norms that we create that later become culture. So, again, I'm going to keep going back to identity every time. So before I get out of here, I do want to tell y'all about Credible Messenger. So I've been telling people a lot, look at a documentary called The Interrupters. It's a sister. I got to get her name. I'm going to look at it and get her name so I can start saying her name. Because it's been duplicated. It's been put down as a best practices. Excuse me. It's been put down as a best practices. It works, statistically works to prevent violence. The thing that I'm trying to do, and I might be getting ahead of myself, but what I'm trying to do is take it out of the city's funding stream. The city can keep funding it through the Office of Violence Prevention, but I want our organizations, the NAACP, you know what I'm saying, the Urban League, Eddie's House is doing it, but they're doing it through the Office of Violence Prevention. We should start getting private funders, organizations to fund us, to fund our own Credible Messenger groups. And we use the model that they got from the sister and we get it from them. So that we don't have to be beholden to city politics when it comes to funding. Because if we get a mayor in office who don't, like, man, what the fuck are we putting the money into that for? You know what I'm saying? But if we funding it ourselves, if we using our own long-standing organizations, churches, to fund it ourselves, use the model and just give people the money to be out there doing outreach in our community, being pillars in our community. That's all it really is, man. Before it get to the cops, before it get to the DA, before it get to law enforcement, before somebody gets shot, before somebody get robbed, before somebody get hurt, we could be in these communities, like making sure, we've been doing this. This ain't new shit. People been doing it. It just wasn't organized, and people wasn't getting paid, but now people are getting paid. And I'm very honored not to be working with the Office of Violence Prevention, so to speak, or even the city. I don't really trust the city. I'm gonna be honest. I might get fired for even saying that, or maybe like Drew gotta go. I don't know. But it is a model that works. Like, we do need to be in our community, just mediating, providing people with resources. It ain't even all about. It is to quell crime and violence. But more than anything, it's so we can have other systems in place so people don't get to shoot and they don't got to be in courts. We can be a stronger community. You know, our community, black community, we do events. We do help people out. That's really what it's about for me. You're paying me to do outreach. You're paying me to do something I already was doing and I already would do. But I don't mind getting a check for it, and I don't mind making sure my other brothers and sisters get a check for it as well to do the good work. So shout out to to my brother Zoo. You know, he's definitely a credible messenger. To brother Joe. Joe, we gonna set up another date for you. Take care of that baby. You know what I'm saying? I know how that is. To brother Jordan, we went down to his hood, 30 years old, coach football, teach, like whole nine. Like I really respected the brother, man. I respected how he was moving. To my brother Junebug. They said Junebug. They said when Junebug did his ride along to show him that he from his hood because he from up 60th Street. They said Junebug went in a Chinese store. The fucking Chinese store boy came from behind the counter and gave Junebug a hug like, this is my son. I ain't never seen a Chinese boy, no Chinese store come out of that motherfucker and hug nobody. That man came out and hugged that man. He went in a smoke shop. They said he walked up on a young boy, tats all over his face. He's like, man, he just started talking to him because he knew him. Like, it was just like everybody in his community really knew him. You know what I'm saying? So I respect. And he had already been telling people, like, yo, I'm coming around here. I'm going to be doing some work out this community. You know what I'm saying? Like, this credible message, this shit going to be real. I'm going to be out here. And then when he came off with his ride along, he said, I told y'all, right? I told y'all I was coming out here. And it was everybody. It was the young boys. Cousins was out there. I don't know. Junebug probably staged that. He probably get motherfuckers together. Nah, he just that type of cat. Like, on some real shit. He just that type of cat, man. I appreciate that, man. But I appreciate it. Shout out to Miss Marion. Me and her had a crazy conversation this morning. It was crazy to me. It wasn't crazy to her. But she said something to me, and I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more about it as things fall into place. I'm not one of the people that believe if I say something, I'm going to jinx it. But it's like one of those things you don't really want to. It's like I have to tell other people's business in order to tell my business in this case. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't care how I tell my business. But it just was a dope conversation. I really appreciate it. It further allowed me to know what I think about that elder, that queen is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Are you imitating me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you'll get a long way in life imitating me. I'm just be honest with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure you pay attention to these moves, baby. So anyway, again, I appreciate Miss Marion. Shout out to Keith, Shadika, because I kept saying Shanika, but her name is Shad. And I love them earrings. I'm gonna send you this show so you know I love those earrings. Shout out to Keith. I really respect. That's the brother that was like, yo, I called and it's no smut on your name. And Tyrone, man. I fuck with Tyrone, man, because Tyrone is a black Republican. And because I'm red the way I'm red, I don't think Clarence Thomas. You know, before I ride on out of this joint, I'm gonna just tell you, like, you know, we were Republicans first as this political game, because it is a game. As we were Republicans first, you know, and a lot of our people, all we wanted, those black Republicans and those true black Republicans now, all they wanted was equal protection under the law. They don't want no welfare. They don't want no public shit. They was like, we'll get everything from the muscle. We'll build our own communities. We'll get our own money, have our own banks. All we want is federal protection. That's it. We'll figure the rest out ourselves. They're very conservative. You know, outside of the church stuff, I think the same way. I'm not a black Republican, but I'm not even a black Democrat. You know, I'm just somebody in America who's like, if it works, I'm a C, and I tap into it like that. I'm not even an independent Green Party, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him, man. I really appreciate it. You know, me and that brother be having some really, really dope conversations. You know, shout out to my fam, my youngins, Walid, Z. I was gonna say something else, but I ain't gonna say it on here. I heard you be talking trash.
Me?
Yeah, to them though, not to me. You don't talk trash to me.
I do.
I know. Dorsey. And definitely Carlita, my little sis. You know what I'm saying? You know I love you, girl. Yo, Carlita know the shit. Yo, it's like, Yo, listen. Yo, this is PS. Shout out to Took always, man. Took, I gotta get you on the show one of these times, man. You gotta come on the show and talk on the show, bro. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I kept forgetting to ask you, and it just popped in my head, man. So one of these Tuesdays, man, I don't need all the time, man, but give me like a half, man. Let me talk to you out here for a minute, man. I would really appreciate that, yo. So it's PSA. Philly service announcement, Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Grace, Social Activism, Resources, and Art. That's what we doing out here. I'ma holler at y'all.